Good morning, gang. Joyce with Skipping Calves Farms. I woke up this morning and wasn't sure what I was going to do, but this certainly wasn't it. Although it was something of a concern of mine. In the last few days we've had some nice weather, but a few days, the end of last week, we had a couple of really cold overnights. And I had some seeds that were out on my germination table at that time, and things were looking good, but nothing much has happened since then. And I'm wondering, oops, it's windy. We're fixing to get some stormy weather here in a couple of days. If it didn't get so cold overnight that we had a problem. So this is what my germination table looks like now. These are sweet potatoes in the cup. These are sweet potatoes in the soil. These are a variety of seeds, including very old bell pepper, hot pepper, and then we've got some Amish paste tomatoes. We've got some cabbage, red cabbage seeds. We've got a variety of things here that I set up yesterday. This particular bag is going flat, so I'm going to have to reinvigorate that. But it was down in the 50s last night, and I'm reading 65.8 right now, and it's just dropped 65.6 because I've opened the door. Let me close this door. We are getting close to 15-mile-an-hour winds. Bear with me here while I grab my fancy dancy latch hickey-doo. And so I was really kind of concerned because it got cold. There was one night last week where these sweet potatoes were sitting in ice cubes. There was ice on the top of the water when I came down the next morning. So that's kind of what precipitated this batch of sweet potatoes. And on the older bullnose pepper seeds that have been out for a couple weeks, 10 days, I'd gotten one in about 4 days and then two more at about 7 or 8, and haven't really seen much since. So I'm wondering if they just got too cold that one night and that was the end of them or not. So I've got today and tomorrow before we get really cold. And so what am I going to do? Well, I got to deal with what I have. And I kept praying about it. And I'm going, well, do you want me to do it this way? Do you want me to do it that way? And I kept getting no's. And then I was remembering about a guy up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who had some big 1920 glass greenhouses, and he was doing some kind of missionary work, and he heated his glass greenhouses in the wintertime with compost, which included, a lot of the waste products from the breweries in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right? That's where they brew beer, right? So anyway, prayed about it, and this is what the Lord and I've come up with. Well, no, this is what the Lord came up with, and I'm trying to honor his request. So I put down cardboard, kind of like shingles, because my principal wind direction is going to come from here, which is the south. So it's layered on top, and then you can see how it's like a shingle. Like this is the top of the roof, and the top shingle is on the top, and then they go out like this all the way down. The idea is to help keep the wind from picking them up. So then I say, okay, I was going to put some hay down on top of that and some manure on top of that, and then when I got back, I had all of this grass and weeds that I'd either cut out to make room for growing my Swiss chard, or that when I reworked the top of my tater patch, and this could be a challenge. So we're going to have to figure something out here. We're going to have to get that cardboard up against that 2x4. It's higher at this end than any place else, and that wind has blown that plastic off. So we're going to have to fix that before we go further. So, and this is the only place where it's down low. You can see it's up high all the rest of the way. So that's what happened when that door blew open. It just popped that out. Anyway, so we're going to put these weeds down, and then I've got over here on the other side, I've got a load of aged chicken manure. That's going to go on top of the weeds on this side. We'll put aged sheep manure on the other side. And then probably, unless my plans change in the process, which with the Lord sometimes that's the way it works, I'll probably cover the whole thing with a little bit of hay, and you kind of press that down, and it becomes kind of a fibrous cover to keep things from getting blown, and it'll help moderate the rain and prevent compaction and different things. Anyway, so, but I got to go back in here and fix this before I do anything else. And I'm just going to go over there and grab that last little bit of cardboard and bring that back over and put an extra piece of cardboard along this edge. And the idea is what? Well, I've got the cardboard on the bottom. That gives me a good substrate. It kind of keeps it from getting too wet. They'll attract earthworms. Now I've got the green with the roots and a little bit of soil. And we're going to cover that with aged manure, and then we're going to cover that with the straw. So instead of doing like a mixed compost, it's going to be more of like a lasagna compost. And as the green breaks down, it'll create a little bit of heat. That's kind of the idea of having about a 25-to-1 nitrogen to calcium ratio, or a little bit higher than that. But so if nothing else, the idea is that it'll hold down the plastic. It'll create a little bit of heat. It's made out of cardboard, weeds, and aged manure, which are all waste byproducts, none of which are going to impact the plastic or, you know, cut it or anything like that. And all of those can be reharvested later to go back into the garden or whatever. So that's kind of where I'm at, what I'm trying. I tied this down yesterday to kind of get something started with the shade cloth. That was yesterday, the day before, and it was doing fine, and now it's starting to blow quite a bit, and so I'm going to need to take this part on the top. I wasn't sure how I was going to secure it, and I think I'm just going to, these eyelets line up anyway, so I'm just going to tuck these in like this and like this, whether I do it with a bungee loop or a J-hook or a screw with a big washer. I haven't decided yet. That's not primary for today. But those hooks that I made with the help of the guy from the hardware store are working out really well. So, there you have it, gang. Let me get back to work. Let me fix this little issue, and then we'll go ahead and get started on the other side. And when I'm finished, I'll kind of tell you what we did and show you what we got. So with that, gang, I will wish you blessings for the day, and whatever you do, just keep chasing the dream. Miss Lucy's a little upset because she lost her favorite place to come in and hide. She used to come in here and lay on the shade cloth, which is nice and clean and dry and soft. And then I came in and got rid of the shade cloth, and now she can't even get under the plastic anymore. She's not happy with me. Oh well, that's the nature of being the supervisor. Right, Miss Lucy? Yeah. You're such a sweetie. Yeah. She's the star of the show. Aren't you? You're just the star of the show. Well, gang, blessings for the day. And we'll be talk at you soon. Till then, God bless.